Hello students, let us continue to study Chapter 10, Respiration in Organisms. So we learned why do we respire, and breathing is a part of the respiration. There is breakdown of food in the cells through cellular respiration. There is aerobic, anaerobic respiration, partial breakdown of glucose leads to the formation of lactic acid. Then in breathing, we spoke about the inhalation and the exhalation. Then the number of times a person breathes, which was called the breathing rate. Then we saw how do we breathe, the air which enters through the nasal passage and then goes through the windpipe and then enters into the lungs. And when the oxygen rich air is moved in, the lungs are filled during inhalation, and during exhalation, how the diaphragm moves, then how the diaphragm moves down and the ribs move out during inhalation. But in exhalation, it's the reverse, that the ribs will move back and the diaphragm also will come back. Then we also saw the effect of the chest size of the during inhalation and exhalation, and we took the difference. Then we saw that we breathe out carbon dioxide. We performed an activity which showed that lime water turned milky. Then we not only confined our discussion to the breathing in humans, we went to breathing in other organisms, like in case of cockroach. There we saw that they have a special mechanism which is called the tracheal system, which they used for breathing. Then in case of earthworm, the gases easily pass through them with the help of their moist and slimy skin. Then we saw the breathing underwater, which takes place to the gills. Today we'll see about plants. So how do plants respire? Now we know, like other living organisms, plants also respire for their survival. They take in oxygen from the air and give out carbon dioxide. So in the cells, oxygen is used to break down glucose into carbon dioxide and water as in other organisms. So we know that oxygen is used to break down glucose, okay, into carbon dioxide and water. This is an aerobic respiration. Now, in plants, each part can independently take in oxygen from the air and give out carbon dioxide. Now, you have already learned that in chapter 1, the leaves of the plants, they have tiny pores which we call as stomata, which is used for the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Like all other living organisms of the plants, the root cells also need oxygen to generate energy. So roots will take up air from the air spaces which is present between the soil particles. So we can see over here, this is the soil particle, this is the soil particle. We can see there is some space between them. So what the roots will do, they will take the air from the spaces which are present between the soil particles here and here. So it will take up whatever air space is there, and through that it will breathe. Also it has the leaves where they have stomata for the exchange. Now they've asked us, could we guess what would happen if a potted plant is overwatered? So now we have learned in this chapter that respiration is a very vital biological process, and all living organisms need to respire to get energy needed for the survival. So thank you, students.